Hey there guys, finally getting around to making another video. This was a kit that was recommended to me by a few people online. They were all doing a version and wanted me to take part. They wanted to see how I would build it, so I said why not. The kit's only $10 and they kept saying the snap type kits by Revell are actually pretty good now. And there was an idea that I had for a long time of a style of building I wanted to do. And I think I actually pulled it off pretty good. I wanted to go for a more armor-plated looking vehicle. Maybe not Mad Max, but still post-apocalyptic nonetheless. I built this to be more of like an urban, like an assault vehicle or like for riots or something. I had I'd wanted to do something like this for quite a while. It was, they're not like big spikes or long steel bars sticking out, a much more solid, rigid looking vehicle. This would, definitely be better suited for driving around on pavement, or what's left of it. I'd imagine this thing would just suck off-road. It would be so heavy, possibly have concrete-filled tires, solid suspension, because this thing would probably weigh a few tons more than it already did. So, the front bumper is actually, everything on this is made from scratch, but the front of it, wanted to make it look like you can ram it into a wall and push it down. So I put like a steel grate here, which is actually from the original kit that separates the driver and the passengers. And then a thick steel plating on the hood in case rubble fell down on it. And then these flared wheel arches to deflect anything to go away from the tires. Honestly, when I was building this, that did not cross my mind. I was just building this because I thought it looked cool and it was a neat style. And I just thought of that reason for it being not too long ago. And I went for the small opening for the windshield, trying to give it a real mean looking face to it. On the sides, went for these running boards, which I painted a bit of silver to make it look like the rust in the paint had been worn off, where people would stand on it. They would hold onto the railings, kind of like a SWAT truck. And I made it so you could still kind of see out of the windows and use the rear view mirrors. And possibly, if I did another version like this or similar, I could implement the use of little cameras that you can see out of, kind of like reverse cameras, but all around. Then you'd be completely cocooned in there. Did a similar bumper for the back, in case you had to back your way out through a wall. Something thin, not like reinforced concrete, mostly just brick. Small hatch that can be opened up, you could shoot out of. More doors here. And then got a little 50 cal on the roof. I think the maker of that was Dragon. And there's a lot of different manufacturers of, or makers of model guns for military kits. If you want, I should do a video on those, just because I have so much experience with so many different ones. Yeah, and went for the, like the laminated, layered steel plate look to give it, make it look actually bulletproof or bullet resistant. Yeah, didn't really do any detail inside at all. It's just the stock kit. Got a small spotlight right there. The where the headlights are, those are actually wheel chocks from like an 18-wheeler accessory kit. Just looking through all my parts and trying to imagine what I have that would fit the spot perfect. I know a lot of people do that, call it kit bashing. Yeah, the bottom of this, yeah, it looks pretty good, but, you know, it's just one big flat piece that screws to the body. The axles are all molded in. I didn't even bother weathering this one. But yeah, so the way that I actually built this was with the plastic styrene. What I did was I started out making like an exoskeleton around it, using small pieces like this. And just a piece on the top, piece on the bottom, and then just connecting them using these, making a frame, and then just plating either recessed inside or on top of it. And for the hood, just one big flat piece glued right onto the old hood. You know, putting breaks and bends in certain spots, trying to give it a little more shape and definition. A little bit of damage on the front corner. The paint on this was I took the body off. That was one thing I really liked. I was able to separate it from the chassis while I was building it. So painting this was super easy. I used a Krylon for plastic and metal. It was run-of-the-mill average paint. Used a dark gloss gray. Then I went over most of that with a flat tester's gray. Then I just took a bit of an acrylic black paint and just slathered it on the whole thing, working it into all the nooks and crannies, and then just wiped it as much of it as I could off to try to give all the little body panels a little bit more detail and depth, and then just a bit of rust over it to give it a little age and show that it had been built like this for a while. And let me just look through these notes I got. Yeah, this is probably my 10th attempt at making a video. And I'm just going to say screw it. I'm just going for it. Yeah, the instructions came with this simple looking drawing of it. And I just figured I could trace that out and draw on top of it of what I'd go for. I do this with a lot of models from time to time. If I'm having trouble or can't really figure out what to do. They're good for giving you a reference or ideas. I try not to use the look up things on the internet as much. I try to make it unique in my own creation. Man, I got all kinds of crap here that I should probably say about this. Yeah, but whatever. I just gotta try to keep making some of these videos, and hopefully it'll just get easier and easier. And one thing I really love getting is comments and feedback. Yeah, when people have questions and show interest in it, that really gets me excited and really wants me to keep going. And if I see a lot of interest, then I'll keep doing it. So let me know what you think. And I'll try to answer any questions you have if you have any, or any suggestions and other things you'd like to see. Well, I think that'll do it for today.